part on that. I think it's an easy way for, I don't know, maybe Tommy who has a bit of cash but doesn't have many friends to become socially viable to his friends. So social media being the basement group, someone who is an influencer, posts up veteran, he then says, right, he's wearing that, if I get that, post a picture on my Instagram, I might get 200 likes. So social media is bringing social, what's the word, acceptance. So, and that's exactly what it is. Maybe the older generation and maybe the more clued up generation don't care about all of that. It's just, right, I like it. Or Michael Jordan used to wear those free throw line. I buy them to him because I play basketball and whatever it may be. So I want that.
Question for you then.
Go.
Who's more to blame for reselling? Brands like Supreme and what's the one on Brewer Street, Palace, or brands like Nike and Adidas?
Well, I don't know, because Supreme, what, 4 years ago, you could walk into a Supreme shop without having to queue, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Now, could you have done that 4 years ago for certain night trainers that have come out?
No.
So then, whose fault is it then?
Nike.
Not necessarily.
Right. Nike. Okay, wait. Hold on.
Right. I think it's our own faults in some parts.
Yeah, exactly.
God, you're so Buddhist, aren't you?
So
Blame someone, damn it.
So trainers came out, we used to buy them. Trainers come out, environment around trainers changed. Okay, so I'm going to say a couple trainers, Raging Bull 5s, Patta Greens, those two trainers, you had a week's window to walk in, nah, I don't like this, Friday, oh, you know what's growing on me, buy it for retail. Some you even buy on sale, Green Bean, Jordan 5s, anniversary Jordan 1s. It's our want that these brands saw. It's like, wow, let's now look on eBay. Well, someone's selling this for 300. Like, this was a GR. So if they're doing that for a GR, what happens if we do make it more limited, do make it more desirable? If we didn't put that mantra there in the first place, whoever's doing brand research for these brands wouldn't be able to say, look, this GR is now going for bits. We feed the fire and add fuel to it.
Now, you have set reseller groups where, when there is 28 pairs in size, a man puts it in that group, right, there's 28 pairs, let's go and lock it down.
That's because that's 28 man trying to resell.
It don't matter, it's in the community.
No, that's not community. That's not a community. That's okay. Okay, put it this way. If you want to put it that way, there's a community of resellers and there's a community of sneakerheads.
Right.
There's a very, very distinct difference between the two.
What things about kick events do we like, do we appreciate or want to see more of? I think that's a massive one, because we all know what's going wrong or what we see that we don't like, but what do we appreciate about when these sneaker events roll by, or even what we see in the States with their sneaker events or Europe? What positives do we see out there? Okay.
If there wasn't Facebook groups like UK 67, Prep City yourself, Sneaker Myth, London Sneakerhead Society, if it wasn't for these men bringing us together, like all of us trying to get together, we wouldn't be here today. So I guess the positives is actually meeting people that genuinely care. I think that's the only main positive left.
All of these men that talk madness in some of these groups, like, sometimes when someone replies back to me in the group, like they're on a madness, I'm like this. I'm getting mad because I know if I saw them on the road, it's not even a thing where I'm going to beat them up. It's just
these
that
men won't say the same thing.
They can't. Yeah. They don't know Stingman Terry from Tottenham. They don't know the man from Dixon. Like, it's not that. So the frustration with them, man, is that, again, it's back to what they wear. The amount of money that they paid gives them social acceptability. Then they feel they can chat to man a certain way. If you are that age, you can't talk like, alright, big and serious. My dad is whatever his age. None of you could talk to my dad in any disrespectful way, because that's just how you lot are brought up. Yes. Them man, they might try a thing on a Facebook group.
You see the same faces when you went to these events. It's like, yeah, I seen that brother last time. Like, he might know someone, you say cool. Now it's just like 14-year-old there, 12-year-old there. We're all big man. I'm not chatting to a 12-year-old. Like, no, real thing. I'm not gonna. I see a 12-year-old with head to toe Supreme. Like, I'm thinking, shit. Where'd you get your money from? But at the same time, I don't want to connect with you to be like, I remember you when you was wearing all that Supreme.
I don't know about you guys, but I can't listen to all of Future's albums anymore. Like the whole album, just like 1 to 12 or 50, whatever numbers they're releasing now on one album. I can't do it. I just have to go back to where I came from. Do you know what I mean? And there's that thing where, as you get older, you end up in a little bubble, your own bubble of what it was relevant to you, stays relevant to you, and you carry that culture and you carry on with it. Same way you were saying, you go to drum and bass raves and all them kind of raves there. Those kids are not looking for those raves. You know, that's from a different era altogether.
One, they can't get into the rave. Two,
you know what I mean? Though? They're not. That style of music is not necessarily for them. And you wouldn't go to whatever was their scene or whatever they wanted to go to but couldn't get into just yet. It's that sort of thing where we're stuck in a bubble. But I think also what brands have done, which is, I really rate them for it, is back in the day it was all about, you worked in London, you lived in London, you could get everything, right? And there's that London envy, I call it London envy. And social media now makes it easy for Jack, who lives in Gloucester on a farm somewhere in a little village, to be like, oh, that's popping on Instagram, I want it. And he's gonna do everything. Jack's gonna pay whatever he wants to get it. You know, it's that sort of London envy, let's sell it to them. And now because of social media, they can kind of try and plug in without having any connect to it or anything and just go, I want it, I've got the money, that's just giving my what's it, weekly, you know, allowance. And I'm just gonna go for it.
If Instagram disappeared tomorrow, you know, how many people would lose jobs? How many people went from famous to nothing? Social media alone, Instagram alone, has changed the entire perspective of the sneaker culture, of influences.
It's interesting though how we're all like-minded and we've all touched on a similar point. A word that kind of popped out for me a lot was the word relevance, in terms of yesteryear, today, where we're going. But interestingly, I know as much as this is a pre-Air Max Day type conversation, we haven't really talked about any of the other brands, which some may say, well, yeah, the Air Max Day. Some may say, well, hold on, what happened to Adidas, your Asics, your Pumas, your Reeboks? So I just wanted to kind of bring this show home in the sense of asking this question, and it's a simple question. What do the other brands, minus Nike, need to do? Nike, sorry, need to do to make themselves relevant in 2018 and beyond?
Real talk. There's too much going on. Like Nike is slewing its peak. I don't think anyone. There's no chance for redemption for anyone. Adidas is the closest, but they're not they're flopping. It's peak.
Why are they flopping? What is it Nike are doing that other brands aren't doing?
So before we skip over to that one, in terms of what brands in general can do, I think it's customer engagement. I'm a LeBron guy in terms of his footwear, Emil sporting the lovely nines, well done. Bye, gang. Right, so in terms of brands, it's all about customer engagement. Now, let's take it back to a simpler time where Michael Jordan was playing. The shoes and colorways he played in, they released. LeBron started like that, but then it got to a point where he'd have 30 PEs that he'd wear that were fire, that I want that pair, not for retail. With the 15, he's wearing more GRs that people do like and people can buy. In terms of All-Star Weekend, Adidas came strong because they had customer engagement. Nike came strong because they have customer engagement. If, reverting back, if I feel I can be a part of that, I'm more likely to buy into something. We're all a bit more realist now. So yeah, a superstar might have something. He's got it, I might not be able to get it. If you see Mandem or someone on a lower level or an event that 5 of you lot have gone to and cop shoes, then there's hope I'll cop them, or I'm more willing to buy into that. So yeah, to summarize, customer engagement. If you bring in the customer, they're going to feel more wanting and ready to buy into something, whether it's that exact product or stuff down the line.
I think these guys, the other companies need to go back to the drawing board and work on a 5-year plan. I personally believe that the Nike plan was a 5-year plan. I don't think it was something that they just said, right, we're going to take over now. Maybe from the first Air Max day when they realised, right, we've got something here, let's stick with that and we can bring back some old hits and blah blah blah. Then when the first Air Max day happened, there was only one buying platform, I think, for Nike, and then they brought out 3 or 2 more apps. Now if you look at the apps and the demographic that they reach out to, there's different people. The sneakers is a sneakerhead app. The running app is for your runners, and then you've got this lifestyle kind of app which they've got, and that's what Nike have done. Adidas don't have that. Asics may be too much of a smaller brand, and I don't know, whatever, I can't think of any other brands at the minute, but yeah, New Balance and all those brands, maybe it simply comes down to money. If you look at balance sheets, and it was in one group and someone actually put up the balance sheets, the end of year balance sheet, Nike versus Adidas, and Adidas is supposed to be the closest competitor to Nike in the UK, and there's almost 30 billion difference, or something along those lines. Don't quote me on that number, but they can't catch up. There isn't any way that these brands can catch up at the moment. It has to be a 5-year plan. They need to get some of these creative guys that are either poach them from Nike or get some young guys with some young fresh ideas to make this thing happen. Otherwise, it's not like they're always going to be second fiddle.
Like Daniel Panchetti.
Who?
Like Daniel Panchetti.
But he's a market. They've been smart with him. So the basement guys put him forward. He's designed the trainer, and it sold out. I don't know how many units they were. I know someone must know how many units. 500 units. So they sold out. A little bit of hype. They probably resell for about what, 250 now, and they're potentially going to do something again in the future. So Nike are working with them. Basement are getting their push. Nike are getting their push into that market. Yeah. So you've got to spend money.
Just from me knowing a few people from that worked in Puma and whatnot, from feedback I was getting, is like that Fenty range was cool if you just want to get like whatever, the suedes or something like that, or the slides and that. But when it got to the actual clothing, mental. Like the oversized jumper will be like £5. No one's buying. Facts. Like no one's buying. It's just a jumper. It's £5. Like a lot of the Oriental guys will buy it, or girls I should say. But other than that, no one's really buying into it. So you can get your core hardcore Rihanna fan. They ain't got £5 to buy this one jumper with an F on the front, or like, I don't know, the mad garms, like mad boots that come hella high, and like they look too crazy for just your everyday, say, fan to just go out and buy. Like you can like Virgil and an Off-White, and it's just it still looks like an Air Max 1, a Jordan or whatever. It still looks the same. It's not a mad thing, but then there's still obviously just normal Off-White, which is a bit mad if you want to spend that extra piece. But again, you're buying Puma. Who's buying £5 Puma? Whether it's Rihanna or not. Do you know what I'm saying?
Is it a case that brands like Adidas and Reebok and whatever, and Asics, and they don't need to go for the market that Nike have captured, so to speak. They need to find other niches that they can just jump into and expand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to wear what? Was it 16? Yeah, you know, like literally we used to rock those years ago.
Is that considered a retro shoe now then? Even though it's a retro for Nike?
That's timeless.
Yeah, so it's not...
That transcends time for me, you know? Like, whoa. Interstellar shit, you know? No, but real talk. That shoe is still probably going to be relevant because we make it relevant all year, all season long, you know?
What's the Aussie brand, shoe brand. The,
Uggs.
not, come on, man. Whoa. Come on, man. That's right left. Yeah, that's the one. Kangaroo. Roos. That's the one. 1 minute they were like low key as hell. I can't remember who wore them. And the next release, their prices were disgusting.
That's
And it's
because they
just
came in
like,
at the right time.
I don't want. Asics had their boom. Nobody wants them anymore. That is perfect. It's hassle-free. Hanon doesn't crash when you go on it to buy Asics. End of fine. Everything's cool.
So remember when the Asics 20th year anniversary stuff came out? That was madness. And that just came out of the blue. And it gained traction up until the point of when it came to the Foot Patrol one. The Foot Patrol one was the second to last drop. Now that was insane. I don't know if anyone was out there. You couldn't get them. And then certain of the pairs were what? I think these were. I think there was about 1,900 pairs made worldwide. But then hearing that's the campaign in itself. 1,900 pairs, pack of shoes in America. Who wants them? Everyone tried to sign them. Everyone tried to get them. You couldn't get them. But that's what they need to do. These littler brands create stories, even though I don't like stories. Create some stories behind your shit, and then put it out there to the masses.